Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session of Let Us Talk It Webinars. We are extremely glad, as always, to have you with us. Those who have joined in on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, please do share your comments, feedback, and I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every single of you who I'm so grateful to have come every single week. Like our attendee today, Raj. I have to thank him every time he joins in and gives great feedback. And yes, here we are to listen, to learn, and grow. And I'm really excited about today's guest, especially because she's a Bengali. And it will be a webinar, trust me, that many of you would be looking forward to, because at any step of the way, any time of our life, we never know when it will be required. So the topic today is how to get hired, the perception you need to create to get noticed by future employers. So if you, personally, you might need it, or if you run a company, you need it so much. And to talk about, we have with us Preetha Dubey, and she is, apart from being very, expressive and a very friendly speaker, she also aims to create a new generation of sales leaders, whether one leads the team or not, and she believes in the science of sales and makes it as easy as breathing. And she does this by changing the mindset that drives performance change. And she even mentors individual consultant CEOs who have started on their own, leaders who are coming back to the revenue driving role after many years, startup founders who know the benefit of sales storytelling, freelancers who are masters of their domain but fear sales, women professionals who still find it challenging to sell their brand in the workplace, and also for job seekers who struggle to get that proactive call from a recruiter. And the best part of it is that she takes hungry clients who would not settle for mediocrity. Absolute pleasure to have you, Preetha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Julan, and a very good day to all who have come on live to create a perception so that we can get hired. What an interesting thing, isn't it? All of us, that is what we need. No matter how much where we are in that Maslow's hierarchy, somewhere getting hired becomes such an important need for all of us. And I would try my level best to get you some tips and some ways of creating that perception in today's world, and especially in the current time and in this modern ways that people are hiring nowadays. So I would like to share some new ways or methods that recruiters across the world are using to hire people for the job. So whether you are right now on the bench, or you're actively seeking out for a job, or generally searching for a change, I hope and I believe that this particular webinar, this discussion is going to help. And towards the end, there will be Q&A. So feel free to ask me questions that are running on your head. And if you want me to answer them, if I have the answers, I will surely answer you today here itself. And if I do not have the answer, I'll find that answer and I'll send it across to you through Julan and her team. So
Preetha,
first and foremost, yes.
sorry for the interruption. I would request you one point, that nowadays the work culture becomes remote. Okay, you can work from anywhere and contribute to the organization's bottom line. And as the companies are seeking to expand and develop their business into new territories, it may not be always possible to go physically to that country or to that state or to that city to recruit. So the recruiting also can increasingly become remote. So, which is already happening, in companies as high as Amazon, Google, they recruit people remotely. Okay. Now, this is more so in our technical area, the IT companies where people are recruited remotely based on tests, based on interviews, etc. Now, it has got several advantages, certain pitfalls, certain fraudulent practices, etc. They are not 100% foolproof. So can you, if time permits, kindly cover how candidates can gear themselves for the remote recruiting part and how to generate the positive impression? Because you're not in person and you're remote, and people can take some impression which you never intended to give.
Sure. Great that Raj brought this point up, because my whole objective of this webinar is not to tell you how you can crack an interview. That you will do. I know that you will do. And I'm sure that you believe that you will. If you are given a chance to sit across someone and present yourself, I'm sure you will do a good job on that. And that's you have got a job before, and you will get a job even later. But yes, the point that Raj just mentioned about how in this digital world we can create a perception to all those future job seekers, the ones who are looking out for skills and talents across the world. How do we show ourselves or showcase ourselves? See, I very strongly believe that in order to be successful, and in this case, let us define being successful as getting ourselves a job. So, in order to be successful, two things need to happen. One is I must perform when I get a chance. That is, when I have been called for an interview, I must do my best to get through that interview, to crack that interview. And the second thing, which is a parallel thing, it is not that it happens serially one after the other. No, the simultaneously, there's another thing that needs to happen, and that is I must get the chance. I will be able to prove myself and who am I and how great am I and how brilliant or how lucky you are going to be if you hire me. All those things I will be able to do a little later. First, I need to get the chance to be able to showcase myself. And that is what is more important. At this point, let me share with you a story. It was around 2013. I was working for an organization called Randstad. It's a it's a HR consulting company based out of Netherlands, and it had its office in India. And I was managing the business development for the permanent staffing across industries. And and also individually, I was looking after the recruitments at the BFSI, that is banking and financial services sector. And during that time, my team was working on a special mandate called for the CFO of a large organization. And the job description asked for certain very specific qualification that this person must have. So it was not very common. It was a little uncommon, that particular specification that the job description wanted. So we started looking for candidates who could be relevant for this job. And when we sent across the CVs, one person got shortlisted. And we interviewed first screening, and we found him absolutely relevant. And we sent him across for an interview. He goes for the interview. He was a little late. And within 10 minutes, I receive a call from him saying that my interview is done. And I wondered, a CFO interview done in 10 minutes, how is that possible? So my hope was that maybe he was so good that They didn't have to interview him. A little later, I received the call from the EA of the MD who was interviewing, the MD was interviewing the CFO. And the EA called me up and said, Pritha, who did you send? Who? I said, why, what's wrong? He said, boss, this person walks in to this interview all disheveled. His shirt is out, his jacket and everything is all sweaty, and he was huffing and puffing when he entered, and it was so shabby. My MD felt that there is no way that this person can represent my company. Now imagine, in spite of all the qualification, all the relevant qualification that this person had, it was a perception that got created because of this person's overall appearance, and he did not get a job. So, the point I'm trying to make here is the perception that we create is very, very important for us to get that chance to get selected. Everything else, our qualification, our skills, our talents, all those things, we will get a chance to prove them. So, how are recruiters nowadays searching? I'll tell you how we used to get these mandates. A big company, IT company. We were hiring for a ITES company who had its back office in India. And they were hiring for a very specific, very niche job role, extremely niche. Only a few other ITES organizations had people who are performing that kind of a job role. So, what does this company do? They gave us a list of the companies from where they want to hire. They said, we want to hire from this one, two, three, and four, only these organizations. They told us the department from where we have to hire them. And the first job that we had to therefore give them was go through these companies and give them the entire hierarchy, how they are placed, who are the people who are placed there with names. We were supposed to research and give them the names of the entire hierarchy in that department, right from the bottom line to the department head. Everyone's list we had to present. And from that list, we were also supposed to not only just give the names, but also a little brief or a little bio about this person. And then they were doing the selection. Okay, I want to meet this person, this person, this person, this person. And then we had to go and connect with these candidates and convince them to come and give an interview. What is it that we're trying to say? That there are people who are observing, or the organizations and the people who are recruiting in these organizations, they are constantly observing you, and they are constantly in lookout for the right talent, for the right skill. No organization right now has the time to train you, to prepare you for the role. So what is happening? They want those people who are already subject matter expert, who are domain expert. But how will they know? Till the time they don't interview you, how will they know? Are you going to give them some 6 page of your CV talking about every skill that you have, about every achievement, about every accomplishment, about every project that you've worked on? Nobody has the time to go through such lengthy CVs. Honestly, if you have ever recruited, right till the time the candidate is not sitting across you, you may not have even gone through that CV. And that is the reason why the first question any interviewer ever asks is, tell me about yourself. Why? Because that is one chance for the recruiter to go through your CV and to understand who you are actually. So, in the current world, when people are hiring and when they want to hire and they really want the right talent, there are a few things that you, as a candidate, as a potential job seeker, you need to be doing. First and foremost is that remember that this whole process of getting yourself hired is nothing but selling. And what are you doing in the process? You are attracting a prospect for yourself, whom you are going to sell your services. What are your services? Your talent, your skill, your competencies. That is what you are going to sell to that prospect. So, in today's world, it is very important to get noticed by the prospect. You cannot be doing cold calling to the prospects, right? That is, you can't be calling up, hello, do you have a job? I am looking out for a job. You don't want to do that because that is going to take your overall brand. If it was here, that is going to take you here. So you don't want to do that. So you need to build your personal brand in a way that you become so impressive, you become so attractive that organizations and recruiters themselves are calling you up and saying, would you like to join? Like how we were doing it for that organization whom we were hiring, calling up people and convincing them to come for an interview. Wouldn't that be just wonderful that you are being convinced that why don't you please come for an interview? At least go for the interview. You don't have to take it up if you don't like it, but at least go for an interview. How amazing it would be if we were just rejecting offers. They are just lining up for us and we're just rejecting offers. And if that is something that you desire, it is possible. It is definitely possible. All you need to do is create your online presence. Create that, a virtual presence. Gone are those days when recruiters used to go on to these hiring websites like Indeed and find CVs, relevant CVs, and then call up people. During my time, and I'm talking about 2013, 14 itself, my entire hiring had shifted to Facebook and LinkedIn. We were hiring from these two mediums. Now you may wonder that how was I hiring and why were we hiring from Facebook? Now we'll come to that aspect now. First and foremost, for getting hired, LinkedIn is very, very important. Your social presence and your online branding is very, very important. So let me first start by sharing with you that what are some things that you can do on your LinkedIn to get noticed, to create that online branding for yourself. Number one, optimize your LinkedIn profile. What is the meaning of optimization? When we are searching for a candidate on these search engines, that is on the job search platforms, we put certain competencies. For example, I am looking at a Scrum Master. I will put Scrum Master, 18 or 15 years of experience and something like that. I'm going to put, and I'm going to get a CV. Similarly, it happens on LinkedIn. When a job search or a job recruiter is searching for a candidate, they go on to the search aspect of LinkedIn and they put these keywords. And with those keywords, whichever names come in the first page, they usually contact them. What you need is that when somebody is searching on the topic or on the skill or on the competencies that you have, your name should feature in the first page of the search. And for that, your LinkedIn profile has to be optimized. Now, when we're talking about LinkedIn profile, meaning what is the meaning of optimizing a LinkedIn profile? Point number one, a very, very nice headshot. This is not Facebook. So no sitting at the garden at the beach or, with your sunglass and peeping out of your eyes. No, a professional headshot, not a serious one, not like standing like this and giving a picture. No, a professional headshot is basically a little angular like this, a little angular and turning the face turned like this and a proper clean background. And you give that a professional headshot which gives your features, it makes everything come across very clear, they can see you. LinkedIn also has a banner. Utilize that banner not with general colors or the default LinkedIn banner pattern that they have, the design that they have. Go to Canva, create a LinkedIn banner, banner, and on that banner, highlight the key skills that you have, that you want your recruiter to hire you for. So highlight those key skills on the banner, that, or highlight how you help, or what is your specialty. At least write that, whatever you, either your specialization or the key skills and competencies that you have got, or the number of years of, but don't make it too crowded, neat and clean, but it should say, so that the first instance somebody goes into a profile, they see the banner and they understand, okay, so this person is good at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, or these are the competencies that this person has. So these two aspects are very important. Then comes the title. After your name, they give you space to mention who you are. Here also there are two ways you can mention, either the key skills that you are talking about. Now here, do not just mention, so if you are looking at a leadership position, do not just mention leader or influential leader, not something like that. Very clearly, a competency, uh, something which is related to your industry, something which is related to, which talks about your experience, which talks about the speciality or the specialization that you have got. So on that label part, talk about that. Or you can also talk about, again, as I said, how whosoever is hiring you, how you can help organization, or how you add value to an organization. You can write that I help IT companies dash 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 to get dash dash dash, or to whatever is the value add that you are doing. So you can write that down also. The next part is your about page. Many times people confuse LinkedIn as a CV, as an alternate to CV. It's not an alternate to CV. So don't just keep writing everything on the about page, filling it up with all the experiences and all that stuff. About page, consider this about page, that question in an interview. Tell me about yourself. Whenever this question is asked, tell me about yourself. We are not supposed to be taking them through the CV. That's not what this question, the aim or the objective of this question is, right? The objective of this question is, tell me those things which are not mentioned on the CV about you, your strengths, your achievements in life. What are your vision? Who are you as a person? This is what this question aims at. So does the about section in the LinkedIn, the summary section. This is what it aims at. You are supposed to be telling them your specialization, the key skills that you have got, the value add that you will be doing to any organization who hires you, how great an asset you could be for an organization with all the skills and the talent and the competencies that you have got. This is what we are supposed to put in here. And remember to use those keywords that a recruiter is going to be putting in the search section to hire those. But that doesn't mean that in every second line you have that keyword mentioned. No, but throughout that summary page and on the title, on the banner, at least let it appear 4 or 5 times. From the banner to the about page, let it appear 4 or 5 times, those keywords that you want the recruiter to that the recruiter will put. And there's a possibility you will be in the first page of the search. And then of course is the your experiences. Don't just say that from this year to this year and this much, this is my job role that I played. Write a little bit more. LinkedIn gives you that experience of writing. Write a little bit more about what happened in that job, that is some accomplishment if you have done, or at least at least the KRA. Just mention that. Now comes a very important aspect which people look for: endorsements, not recommendations. Recommendations will come a little later. Endorsements. Now, LinkedIn has given this beautiful concept of somebody endorsing you. So see to it that the top skills that you have got, people are endorsing you for that, and highlight them. The top skills that people know you for and that you want people to notice you for. Those endorsements should be properly highlighted. You should have a lot of those endorsements happening for yourself. And the next aspect, of course, is recommendation. If you are good, you should be and you must be recommended by not only your colleagues, I mean, colleagues definitely. See to it that the recommendation is not from some buddy of mine who was studying with me in college. It has to be a professional recommendation, and it should cover 360-degree. That is, it should be from your subordinate, from your superior, from your peers, and from your clients. It should have a 360-degree recommendation happening for you. All right. So this is how you optimize your LinkedIn profile so that at least when they are searching, you find a place in the first page itself. Now, coming to creating the social presence beyond your LinkedIn profile. For that, what is a recruiter looking for? The recruiter is simply looking for someone who is a subject matter expert. That's it. Now, you need to come across to your recruiter as a subject matter expert. How will you be? How will you come across like that? First, you are active on LinkedIn. By active, I am not asking you that post every day. Of course, if you post every day, your visibility, like we have the SEO, your visibility increases. You are more visible to people, and that's on the search side also. It gives you that chance. So be regular, if not every day. Be regular. Maintain a discipline of being active on LinkedIn. Now, when I'm saying that be active, what exactly should you do? What should you do? Talk about your industry, post something about your industry, post something about your job role, or how this particular job role helps IT companies. Share some personal anecdotes of how you have added value to certain client, and through those personal anecdotes you are basically telling others about what they should do if they are in this kind of a role, how they can therefore come across or overcome a particular challenge that you just spoke about, and how they can benefit out of it. Also, comment on other people's posts. When they are posting something which is from your industry, comment on other people's posts so that those people take a note of you. Connect with all those potential recruiters. Here, by recruiters, I mean it could be HR consultants, or it could also be the decision maker, the department person that is the future employer, the organization, that person who should be ideally recruiting you, and you should be uh, working with this person. So connect with all these people, and go and comment on their posts. But when you comment, the comment should not be like, well said, or I agree. No, these are not value adding comments. The comments that you put there should add value. It should be such a way that it is basically adding on to the thought process of what that person said, so that this person takes notice. Who is this person? He made a lot of sense here. And then there's only one time, but this employer, your future employer, sees you often coming back to his posts and always giving that commitment. Now you have become a brand recall for him or her, and this employer now knows you by name, or at least knows you, that this person, this profile, it keeps commenting. And then if you are sending that person an invite, connection invite, this employer already knows you and they accept it for you. So it is not like you're stalking, you're just generally networking with people. Also, another good way is all those potential employers that you have, the future employers, it would be a good idea to endorse them. So the minute you endorse them, they get the notification that you've been endorsed by so and so for this skill. And they're like, oh, wow, who is this person? And they immediately go to your profile and they see your profile. And oh, this person seems to have all the relevant qualification that I was looking for. Okay, maybe not looking out for a job right now, but I'll see if we have a position, maybe we'll connect. And then if you are connecting, and if you are then going and say that, what, I am looking out for a job. If you have any position, please do let me know. They know you. So be active. This is how what I mean by being active. Your own posts. So just for a summary, you are posting yourself. It's your own posts. You are commenting on other people's posts. You are also sharing other people's posts with your value add. So you're sharing that post, but you're also mentioning certain value add from your side, of course, tagging the person whose post you are sharing. And you're endorsing those profiles that you want to network with. So this is how you build your LinkedIn branding, and this is how you get noticed by your future employers, and they understand that you are that subject matter expert, or you have that talent, and that is the reason why all your posts are so relevant, so informative. It showcases how talented you are, and that is how this whole thing helps. Now, that was about LinkedIn. If you have any questions on LinkedIn, note them down. I will take it towards the end. I believe I still have some more time to do this. Now, I let me come to the Facebook. Why is Facebook important? Now, Facebook is important because every organization has a culture. They have a value. And more than anything else in today's world, the organizations look for a value fit. That is, we as an organization have a DNA, have a value system. If your values do not match with my values, then you will not be happy within my organization working for me. And I may have to suffer because of you. So that value fit is very important. Therefore, what as recruiters we used to do is, whenever we used to find a relevant candidate, we used to, and we have already understood what is the requirement of the organization. The recruiter then goes on to the Facebook profile of the candidate and looks at the posts. What kind of posts have you made? Now, of course, Facebook is personal. Of course, the views that you make on Facebook is your personal, but that also shows what you think, what your ideologies are. So, therefore, whatever you are posting on Facebook, be a little mindful. Refrain from any controversial posts, no matter how much you do not like it, but refrain, or how much you feel very strongly about a certain thing that is happening. Of course, you can post about anything immoral that is happening, against anything immoral that is happening. You have, so that you have the right, because you are human and you want to show the human side of yours. But refrain from anything political, religious, sexual, um, and these kind of aspects which you do not know how the post reader is going to perceive this. Refrain from that, and do not post any such comment or such topic, or share some such topics which could be controversial, because that will show your ideology. You could be politically right inclined or left inclined or central inclined. Doesn't matter. Don't voice it out, is what I'm trying to say. Be again very mindful about what and how you are posting on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook. I'm sorry. They go to your Facebook, they also understand what's your hobby. What is it that you do? You dance. So your CV would have said, I love social service. Your Facebook shows nothing. Your Facebook says you dancing at discos most of the time. Your CV for example, say some other hobby that you do, or a pastime that you involve yourself in, but you hardly mention about it on your Facebook or social media account. There's always a clash, therefore. So be very mindful of what you're saying. Now, that does not mean that I'm asking you to manipulate. I'm not asking you to manipulate, because that is the last thing that will get you a job. All I'm trying to say is whatever you are writing on your CV, let it be genuine. Don't write something that will be then countered by your social media profile. Make your CV genuine. People like to hire very transparent and genuine people. You need to come across as very, very genuine. I have seen candidates getting rejected because there was this mismatch between what they were saying on their CV and what their social media posts like Twitter and Facebook were saying about this person. So, this is how we create our online presence, and this is how we create a perception about us to all those people, all those future employers who are looking out for talents like you, who want to hire talents like you, but they just don't know how to reach out to you because you are not visible. So that is what I had to share to you about how you can get yourself noticed. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask me now. And my question is to the Let Us Talk It team. How are you going to be asking me this question? Would you be asking me the question on behalf of them, or how is it going to happen?
Yeah, they can, all those who have joined in on Zoom, they can just unmute and ask the question. Um, but I have to say, a wonderful, well sorted presentation. I would, Preetha, I mean, step by step. And nothing better than this to explain and to reiterate what is important right now, what is the in thing. So, yeah, a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, anybody, any question, please feel free to unmute yourself or write it in the chat. And Vamshi, if we see any question on Facebook or YouTube, please let us know. Okay, and in between, just would like to let you guys know that we have these webinars, Let Us Talk It webinars, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, our US time, EST, from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. And this week, especially, we'll be having two Let Us Talk It youth webinars, which would be one on Friday from 9 to 10 p.m. EST, and another one, the topic for Friday would be why playing is important indoors and outdoors. It's for young youth who are working hard to put up a presentation of webinar for you guys on Friday. And on Saturday, a more mature topic on the US elections, the outcomes, how it will affect us, not affect us, very unbiased outlook from the youth. And that would be Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. EST. And yes, regular webinars like tomorrow we'll be having on demystifying artificial intelligence AI with Cloud Azure. And on Thursday, we have launch your product using Toyota Production System, TPS in software industry. Very unique topic. So do join and see what it is about. It's from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. And anybody has any question on these webinars, or how to be a speaker, or how to become part of Let Us Talk It, please email us at webinar@letustalkit.com. Okay, with that, again, coming back to question.
So I
Any
believe
question?
I am guessing that this whole thing was so clear that nobody has any question. That's fantastic. I'm going to pat my back for that. Thank you all.
Absolutely. No, you cannot get away right now.
No, but still,
But
I believe that if you guys have a question on probably on how to create your social media or anything on LinkedIn, something that you want to check whether you're doing it right or not, you may please feel free to check it right now.
Yeah, Preeta, this is Raj. Okay.
Yes,
What
yes.
happened was that when you were talking, the last 5 minutes, I was not listening because there was an important phone call from the federal government. Okay. So I kind of muted you guys, and that is why I didn't ask you the question. The question is, uh, when you were talking about the LinkedIn, improving your profile, in addition to the references, like endorsements, etc., you getting certain certificates, industry standard certifications, like, if you are an engineer, electrical engineer, getting an IEEE certification, or you are a Novel or something like Cisco certified engineer, level 2, level 3.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Should we add them along with the logo? How many are ideal? Because we don't want to crowd it too many logos floating around. What is the ideal number?
So there are this at the very bottom. If you also notice the way LinkedIn is also designed,
Hmm.
those certifications are comes very at towards the bottom of our profile.
Yeah.
So therefore, what we are saying is that the ones which are latest and which are the most relevant for the kind of job role that you are into,
Mm-hmm.
highlight them.
Okay.
That is more important. There could be many other certifications that you would have done, but it's important that you highlight those that are very, very relevant to your job profile. Those definitely should come.
Okay.
At the same time, let me tell you that when people are going through your profile, they kind of end with your experience. Below that, they usually do not come.
Okay.
So the impression happens and with the banner, the title, and that summary page. The impression happens.
Okay.
And after that, they want to know a little more. They will still go through, okay, well, how many jobs has this person changed? Because if suppose everything else on the top was very, very impressive, and then they come down to your experience and then they see every 1 year or every 1.5 years, this person has been jumping. Mm-mm, not helping. So then again it becomes a little, so till that experience they come.
Yeah.
Below that, it's unless they really want to know you in great detail, they may not come, because the first job is to see whether you are relevant for this role or not. If one of the certification is important for that role, then they will definitely go down and see if you have that certification done already.
Okay. And secondly, getting the endorsements from your previous bosses, like, the people who have supervised your work,
Hmm.
is not very easy. Sometimes you can ask him very indirectly, very obliquely. Sometimes, they think that they are exposing themselves, so it becomes a little bit difficult to get endorsements from your previous bosses. Sometimes they are very genuinely busy, and how can you kind of get this done without burning bridges, without irritating somebody?
Okay. So first and foremost, if we are talking about endorsement, then who has endorsed you, that does not show.
Mm,
Okay. It
mm,
only shows in the endorsement points. How
mm.
many people have endorsed you for that particular, on that particular skill.
Okay.
So if your boss is not doing, somebody will do. But
Yeah.
the whole idea is that it should show that majority a number of people are endorsing you for that particular skill. So try and get it. We may ask from many. So it is like how it happens in sales. We are connecting with 100, maybe 5 or 10 will endorse me.
Yeah.
Fine. At least we're starting with 10. We'll again connect with another set of 100. Again, some 10 will endorse. But that is how we have to keep building on the endorsement. See, in one day, this whole profile does not get created. When we're
Yeah.
talking about endorsements and recommendations, this will now take time. We have to spend time. And it also depends on how my relationship had been in the past. Have I really added value? Because if I've really added value, and if I then write a personalized note to that person and ask them for an endorsement and ask them for a recommendation, more often than not, people oblige. People say, yes, yes, he's a very nice chap or very nice lady, and I must, she's very, very talented, and I must endorse this person or I must give this person a recommendation. Usually they do, but remember that do not send that the default email that gets created or the default message that gets created by LinkedIn. Try and create a personalized note with that person. And it is always a good idea that if you know this person, um, who is going to endorse you or from whom you need a recommendation, it is always a good idea to first call up this person, connect with this person, talk to them, let them know that I will be needing an endorsement from you or I will be needing a recommendation from you. Would you be kind enough to do that for me? If the person says yes, then send it to them. The person says no, you know what, I'm very busy, I don't have the time, or I really don't know what to endorse you for, you get your answer.
Yeah. And the second question is about Facebook. The way the Facebook as a medium is used is more like a social platform. People exchange their picnic pictures. The social organizations they belong to, they share their pictures, etc. Their gardening work, and it appears to be to a majority of the audience more of a casual and social interacting platform
Hmm.
than a very serious recruiting platform
Hmm.
like the way LinkedIn is.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
If Facebook were to become a recruiting tool and one has to project oneself appropriately,
Hmm.
it will very quickly cease to be a social interacting platform where you're a little bit loose, relaxed, and more casual, pally pally with your friends, exchanging anecdotes and things like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I myself, being a very active Facebook user, have not seen too much of recruiting activity going on. Okay.
Hmm.
So my question to you is that people use it as an indirect source or direct source because there is not much of authentic information like the way LinkedIn is. Okay. Am I
Hmm.
right in my impression or how
Yes,
to?
yes, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Facebook, as I already mentioned in my presentation, Facebook is not a direct source of candidate. It qualifies a candidate.
Okay.
Okay. So what it happens is people do not go to Facebook and look for a candidate and source for a candidate. That they don't do. The
Mm,
sourcing happens from LinkedIn.
mm,
But what they do is they go to the Facebook to qualify the person,
mm,
whether the values will match with this organization's values or not. They
yeah.
go there to qualify. Now, if you do not want anyone, say you want to be very casual, and everybody's casual, you should be casual, you should be who you are.
Mm,
But when we're talking about an online presence, it's like a CCTV camera. It is as if the future employer has put a CCTV camera
yeah.
like a drone and which is always following me. So there is no way that I can escape. So,
Mm,
yes, when we have become digital citizens and everything is happening remote and technology is kind of taking over, some sacrifices have to be made if we want to get noticed and if we want to create a perception about ourselves. And that sacrifice is that go back to the previous era, make friends personally, face to face, meet them, and get as much casual as you want to be when you are with them physically. On the social media, know that somebody is watching you, and if you don't want yourself to be watched, then at least lock your profile so that they can't enter your profile, and they can't know. But you should know that locking your profile may have a slight, not really, it may not get you a huge disadvantage, a slight one, but they are not yet able to qualify you whether your value systems matches or not. You would be a
That
culturally.
is that Preeta is a very gray area because my Facebook interactions are at a very personal level, casual level, social level, jovial level. Okay, like I attended a wedding, I share some photographs. Somebody, you have a drink with a wine glass in your hand. This is all meant for some kind of unwinding. You know
Mm, mm,
So Facebook, sometimes you record a clip and put there of a concert that you attended where the performer was
mm,
doing an excellent
mhm.
job.
Yes, yes.
These kind of things sometimes can have parameters related to the recruiting, like this guy has got some fine arts taste and things like that.
Hmm.
Sometimes it can unwittingly give a very negative impression. This guy is a drunkard, you know, like he's always in a party drinking and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you cannot be in putting it in a very uh, in a Hindi term, you cannot be a matlabi aadmi when you are building
Mm,
your
mm,
meaning.
mm,
You cannot be a result
mm,
oriented person when you are building up a profile in Facebook. It
mm.
is necessarily casual for unwinding and you just cat
Absolutely.
a joke.
Absolutely. And there is nothing wrong, Raju rightly said. There's nothing wrong in those harmless pictures or the harmless posts that you are putting up. What we should be a little mindful, as I also mentioned, is stay away from controversial posts. That is the only thing that I would ask everybody to be a little careful of. Otherwise, of course, it's your social media. You've gone on a picnic, put those pics. You've gone on a marriage, or attending a concert, or you yourself are singing. You want to put some live singing sessions that you are doing, or some jamming sessions that you are doing. Go ahead, do that. Not a problem at all, not a problem at all. Please do go, because that's your life. They want to see you as a human. Show them now you're not a robot, you're a human who has a personal life, who has a family.
Correct.
Show that. These shows those value add, those values that you are living with. At the same time, there would be a lot of strong beliefs that you may have related to certain topics which could be not favorable to somebody else.
Say, let
So
us say politics or
yeah, yeah,
or
absolutely. So stay away from.
my impressions
Yeah,
about LGBTQ. I cannot put it there
yeah,
because that,
absolutely.
that gives a tilt in your personality.
True, true, true.
So one has
Yes.
to be really careful because
Yeah.
even the recruiters can need to be very careful in drawing impressions because people don't want these impressions to be used in a hiring decision. Okay,
Mm,
that you need to ask a more structured questions, more formalized questions. Okay, I may
true.
be a managing director of a company, but then when I go to a party, everybody is bindas, like, what
Mm,
do you call fun loving
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
relaxing. Okay. That you cannot take out of context and say he looks like a joker.
Of course, of course. You're right. You are
That
right.
can be
Absolutely
quite damaging.
true. Yes, yes. Absolutely.
I understand. So, people would like to draw some straws, some impressions, straws of impression about you. So, to that extent, you have to be right and avoid controversies. That much is very good.
Uh,
Correct?
Yes.
But then, in some Facebook postings, I am seeing people share explicit political views now that the election is going on.
Yeah.
They very
Mm-hmm.
openly write about in favor of somebody and they
Mm,
write maligning statements about somebody
mm.
else. These are extremely harmful. Okay.
True. True.
Particularly if the organization that hires you has the opposite viewpoint,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That is why we should as much we should try and mostly stay away from any discussions on politics, religion, sex, any other such controversial aspects.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, thank you, Raj.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the questions and more or less giving the idea, that it should be, and the age. I think that is also very important. When the person is desperately looking for a job, then you
Mm,
have to be more careful. Is what I think Preetha is trying to say. That you have to be sensible and balanced as well. Yeah, and Raj, you can put up a picture, and because you have come a long way, I guess, so you can get away with a picture of you having some fun. Yeah.
yeah, will do.
So
Yeah, right now, I will take it a day or two to do it because I need to pick and choose the picture. I'm very, very conscious, so I will add one very soon, Julian.
sure, you will. Now, okay. So one question that I have, Preetham, is about the like hiring straight away, which comes to, even if the recruiters are not looking at your resume that much, is the size of the resume. People with 15 to 16 years of experience, trust me, loves those 15 to 16 pages of resume, which they will not you know leave for whatever reason. So what is that right now, the best number of pages resume, and how should we address to these people, look, you don't give your life history on your resume?
It is still, it's like nothing like now or later. It is still one page is the best. But I understand that, with more than 15, 16 years of experience, we think, oh my God, how am I going to put everything in one page? There are creative resume writings that happens nowadays, which is basically a very effective utilization of that one A4 size page. This corner, that corner, top corner, bottom corner, center corner, and everything looks very neat and clean, yet every information is there. Now let us understand, what is it that a recruiter or a future employer is looking for. Not live, they want to anyway call you and they want to talk to you, so leave something for them to ask you during the interview. Also, don't put everything that interview not required, okay fine, go. That should not be the case. So at the max, take it to 2 pages, but please don't exceed 2 pages. No one has the energy. Even if I give you a CV now to read of some 5 6 pages CV, you will not go through that CV. Trust me. You will just keep it aside. I don't have the time. I'm too busy. I have a lot of projects in my hand, a lot of tasks to be completed. I can't go through a 6 7 pages. This is what you will say if I give you a 6 7 pages CV. So same is the case with the other person. Understand what is it that they are looking for. They're like the customers. They want to buy something. And what is it that they are trying to buy? They have a problem. They have a problem statement and they want to buy the solution. So all they are trying to see, if you are that supplier who has that solution to their problem statement. So what does this mean? An area on the CV where a few important and relevant key skills are highlighted. A picture, again, a headshot, which shows who you are, how professionally looking you are. Those key skills are there. A short summary section, a very short summary section, which talks about the strengths that you have got, and which is mostly, people also do a mistake of, they say that what I expect, I aspire to be so and so and so. It is whatever you aspire, what that means, you want to use me for your aspiration. That should not be the summary. The summary should ideally say that how are you going to add value towards those all those organizations who wish to hire you. So what's in it for them, not what's in it for you, what's in it for them, so that they should look at your CV and they should hire you. And then comes your years of experiences. So all the years and some major accomplishment in that organization. That's it. A one line or 2 lines of major, not your KRA. The people who are hiring you are from your industry. When you write the designation, you think they don't know what this designation's KRA is. They very well know it. All they want to know, what have you accomplished? What kind of value add did you do in this particular designation, in this particular role? What value add did you do? So just highlight that part, the accomplishment, the achievement, the value add that you did. You help them save cost, you help them save some time, that is your organization, or you helped in some kind of a high quality outcome. Highlight that, only that much portion. So even if you have some 6 jobs, all you have to do is just mention from which date to which date, which organization, which designation, which location, and the achievement. That is all you have to talk about.
Yeah, very true, Preeta.
And I,
I will tell you the example of this lady, Sheryl Sandberg, who is the chief operating officer of
yeah.
Facebook. You
What
can
a beautiful CV, one page
one page,
only.
one single page. She is a
One
chief
page.
operating officer
And
of a worldwide corporation. There is not a single mutual fund that has not invested in Facebook. Similarly, in Google, such a popular worldwide known corporation, COO, one single page. Very
hmm.
graphically, it is a very eye-opening.
Yes, and that is her CV, I think, started the trend of creative CV writing.
Yeah,
People understood from her CV that how creative you could be with your CV.
correct.
And it is available, guys. Anybody who wants to see, it is available on Google. You
Yeah,
will find, you just do a Google search and you will find that her CV, it's so beautiful. One single page highlights every aspect that she wants others to take notice of.
yeah.
Rest of the things they will ask you in your interview.
Yeah,
And once,
like you said, she's mentioning all the points that you mentioned, what she
hmm,
achieved, what she did, and
hmm,
what she is as a person. Every
hmm,
single thing gets covered in that single page, and it is
hmm,
not too crowded, and people can easily
hmm,
get that critical
hmm,
information in one look.
hmm. Yes,
And that is a very powerful resume. It was a very illuminating experience for me.
absolutely.
Now, can I
Absolutely.
ask you one question on the lighter side?
Okay,
Yes,
just
please.
one question in between, Raj, if you don't mind, if I can ask. It's a YouTube question from Parag. How do we counter short projects on profile? I don't know what.
Uh, what
No,
is the
if somebody
meaning
has
of?
got short projects, okay,
Yeah, then how they will put in the.
because they are on a contract, okay.
Hmm,
My consultant went on a contract with Google, and he was hired for 1 year contract, but then due to
hmm.
some reason he was let go in 4 or 5 months.
Or something like that?
Something like the next project he goes to some other AstraZeneca, and there also he was used for a 4 to 5 month project, and they got whatever they wanted to achieve, and they let him go. So like the 2 3 continuous projects of short duration stints,
Hmm.
how does one defend against the wrong impressions it could generate?
No, I don't think it generates any wrong impression, especially in the industry that we are. See, every industry knows its trend. What happens in that industry, everybody is aware of it. So don't think just because I have short projects, so people are going to ask me what happened. Like many people feel that if there is a break between one job and another job, so there was a 6 months break and people get scared. Oh my God, I've had a break in between. How will I explain? No, nothing. Don't worry about that. There are always people, what I have seen with most of the interviews that the senior people, the senior CEOs and the MDs have taken, they appreciate genuinity. Be genuine. You had a short project, the work got over, you delivered before time. So suppose the delivery was expected to happen in 14 months, you delivered it in 9 months. How is it a disadvantage, or how is it a wrong thing on your profile? You delivered before time. Do you understand the meaning of delivering before time? Save, it means saving cost. So you are that kind of a person who can who is a person of undercommit, over deliver kind of a person. So all these reasons, there could be multiple reasons. There could be a project which got stalled in between, and because the project was happening in certain country and there was some economic crisis or political crisis in that country. I'm just giving example. And that project could get stalled, and because it was stalled for an indefinite time, you had to leave the project. Or they said that, we don't know, whenever that project restarts, we'll call you back. There could be I'm sure all these short projects were all had, you always had a genuine reason. Unless the reason is that you did such a shabby job that you got fired from the project. Unless that is the reason. If that is the reason, then you and I can work out separately, and I can tell you how you need to handle that particular situation. But yeah, but these are all, be genuine. There is always genuine reasons why those projects happen, and your trust the employer. They have been in the system for a very long time, in this industry for a very long time. They will know when you are faffing and when you're not. So trust them. When you genuinely mention the reason, they will understand it.
Beautifully answered, I have to say. To the point and so true. And there's nothing that, when you're truthful, nothing like that. But with a reason and, okay, so, but you did mention that CV with short projects are overlooked by hiring managers, I think.
Sorry, come again. I didn't get the question.
So that person is Parag. He is asking,
Hmm.
after hearing your answer,
Hmm.
is saying, but you did mention that CV with short projects are overlooked by hiring managers.
No, no, no. Okay. What I meant basically is people who are jumping jobs too often, not short projects, but jumping jobs. Projects are different. If I am assuming when he is calling project, he is from the IT industry, should be from the IT industry. That's why he's
Should be.
calling them as
Yeah.
projects. But when I meant jobs, I meant people from other industries, not from the IT industry. But I'm talking about, say, today you are working in Infosys, tomorrow you are working, you change, you were in Infosys. You could be still with Infosys and work on multiple projects. But what I meant by jobs is 1 year Infosys, then TCS, then Cognizant, then 1 year. So it's like changing companies one after the other in one year's time. As I said, you can still, if you could still have a genuine reason for doing that, you could still have, and you can mention that why you moved out. There could be, I have seen multiple such people leaving a job, but provided the reasons are really authentic. Not that because I wanted, because it provided me a better opportunity. That is a wrong reason to jump jobs, because I jumped a job because I got a higher pay scale in my next job, or it gave me a better role. So I jumped. That to a recruiter means that even in my organization, after a year, if somebody else offers you more job, more salary, or a better role, you are going to leave me and go in just 1 or 1.5 years. So why should I hire you? That is what the logic I meant.
Yeah, very true. Yes, Raj, please go ahead with your.
Yeah, it is a very casual, light-hearted remark I want to make, Preeta, and that today being an election day, and your eardrops, your T-shirt, and your nail polish, they are all blue. Are you
Yeah.
are you suggesting a blue wave or?
Oh my God.
You you are really,
It was
I agree. I agree with Julan. You are too symbolic. Everything you are finding out, meaning from everything, whatever. I had not even thought of those lines you're putting in. Anyway, I have nothing to do with US elections. So I am
No,
very
just
much bothered about the election.
more like a casual remark. Nothing. Don't
Yeah,
take
I
it.
know. I know.
Yeah,
And I'm sure
very
elections that are happening here in
interesting
my
remark, Raj. Just happens to be November 3rd, so he had to make that
People are
remark.
talking about blue wave, and then you are seeing a person
Oh
coming
my
out
God.
blue, and like I was trying to correlate. Okay,
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I I mean, it's a nice observation. Very nice observation.
Epitome of symbolism is this one
Yeah,
that
I know.
Raj
I know.
combined.
I know, I know. Although he asked me a very political question, and as I said, I always try to stay away from political uh, topics, and I don't comment on this political topics. I don't know uh, what I am suggesting here. So all I would say to everyone out there, whatever you can understand from my whole get up and appearance, infer as you like. Whatever you think I'm suggesting, just understand that and be happy with that.
Just casual, because we've been talking about
I
a
understand.
very serious subject, something to let our nerves relax. I was just
I
cracking a
know.
joke. I did not mean
Like,
anything serious. Okay.
no, no, I understand. I understand. I understand.
Okay. Thank you. It
Sure.
was a very wonderful talk. Okay. Enjoyed it
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you. Thank you, Raj. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a very good, session, and I think definitely there are some takeaways. And if there are any specific services that you provide on the resume, even reviewing the resumes or providing guidance or something, you can let us know offline as well.
Sure,
That will
sure,
be
sure,
great help.
definitely, definitely. I definitely work on preparing people on their social media, that is on their LinkedIn presence, and that is their digital presence. And I definitely work on helping job seekers on how to crack an interview. That is the right way of answering a right question. So
Is there a
that is,
contact information, Preeta, if you want
yes,
to
I
ask you
think.
some questions and use your consulting, is there a contact number or something where we can?
Yes, yes. I think Jhulan and her team will be more than happy to share that with you,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Julian, you can
How
send
I
it to
don't
me
know what
later.
is the process here. So, Jhulan, you'll have to help us out here with.
Absolutely. I'll, as much as Raj didn't want my help, but thanks, Peter, for letting Raj know that, yeah, he has to come with through me. So, Raj, I'll send you over her
All
details
right.
for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
very
think
much.
everybody else. I think if you could just connect, if you are looking at cracking an interview, you want my number. I'm more than happy to help. Connect with Jhulan and let us talk at anyone whom you know in this team, and they will share my contact details with you.
Yeah, if you want the information, please email me at webinar@letustalkit.com and I'll share the contact information with you if you have joined it from YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. Yeah.
Thank you very
So,
much.
yeah, thank you, Raj. Thank you, Preetha. It's 16 minutes past the hour, but we cannot stop talking and having us in such a nice and constructive, discussion on which is very important. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Yes, thank you all our attendees who have joined in on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Zoom call also. And we hope that these webinars continue. Only this is to reach out to you, help you as a community. So this is our way of showing our involvement with the community to make it informed and inspired community. But it's your duty to spread the world as well, the word as well. So please, if you know anybody who would be interested, so please share the details. And we have these webinars every week. 4 times a week. This week we are having 5 times. So do not miss and join us. And if you have any questions, please do let us know by emailing us at webinar@letustalkit.com. And all the youth webinars, which happens on Friday and Saturday, we have prep sessions for them as well, which happens Tuesdays and Wednesdays, different timings. So usually 4 to 5 p.m. EST and other timings also. So if you want more information, again, do email us. And with that, we end this session and we hope that you have got helped, and if not, then please join another session to get some more help. So with that, we end this session. Thank you everyone for joining in. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.